First Soldier introduces the Dragoon style during its Season 2 launch. If you're not familiar with the Dragoon in the FF franchise, they're probably one of the most iconic job among fans. I'm not that very vast with FF lore, but if I'm not mistaken, Dragoon was first introduced in FF2 as a Dragon Rider clan and become a job in FF3, but introduces a Dragoon character in FF4 who became one of the most popular Dragoon in the series known as Kane Highwind. Other notable Dragoons are Asinine from FF14, Arania Highwind from FF15, 9 of Class 0 from FF Type O Agito, and if we're talking about 7, Sid Highwind. Dragoons are basically spear users, specialized in jump attack, wears armor closely resembles the dragon, and some in the group even tames dragons. What's up guys, Massive Dragoon here, and in these videos we're going to break down Dragoon style in First Soldier in order to better understanding of their kit, what are their stat, abilities, strengths, weakness, best build, and strategy when playing Dragoon. It's already been the 4th day since Dragoon was released, and I already maxed him to at least level 50 and reached Soldier Prime in solo, primarily only playing Dragoon, and these are my stats. It's by far not the best, but at least I can share you my experience and what other people has shared with me in order to help you mastering Dragoon. Alright, let's start off by talking about Dragoon melee attack. So the Dragoon melee attack is separated into the ground attack and a jump dive bomb attack, which is the plunge, but I'm going to be calling it the jump attack because that is how it is in the franchise. So let's talk about the groundwork first. So the groundwork has 4 combo hit. First hit is a long range thrust, very good for PvE or poke or even chase someone as a last hit. Second hit, mid range swipe. If your first hit, there's a chance that your second hit might not hit because it's more like a semi thing and it doesn't really add up. So I recommend if your target is running away, just try to poke with first hit and then chase them again and try to poke them with first hit again. The third hit is a AoE floor stab, and the fourth hit is a follow-up of the higher AoE floor stab. And these are the damage shown on the screen as you upgrade the melee weapon, so make sure you upgrade the spear because it will increase the damage as shown on the screen. So if all combos are totaled up at level 1, you'll deal a total of 76 HP, level 2 87 HP, and level 3 103 HP. So at the end game, melee is not that usable, so you might want to plunge and then melee, but again, maybe shoot off your Raga if you're not able to. Alright, next off we're gonna cover the jump attack. It requires a certain height to be able to trigger it. A fully maxed jump chocobo at the right time will be able to trigger it, but the timing has to be very good. When trying to jump attack, a marker will appear indicating where your attack will be landing, and your enemy will also be able to see that landing attack in a red marker. Yours will be blue and then your enemies will be red. That's why it's best to use it when they are distracted, running away, or maybe out of mana or exhausted from work, or maybe they're not paying attention. Now this is where it gets very tricky. Does upgrading the melee attack, the spear, increases the plunge or the jump attack? A jump attack based on spear level. There's gonna be a circle appearing indicating it, so there's gonna be radius. So if you're standing from the far radius, level 1, level 2, level 3 damage is shown right here. If you're targeting the target, if you're going at the center of the radius, then there's gonna be something I would like to call a first hit. So sometimes before your spear hit the ground, when it hits the ground, it will deal an AoE. So before it hits the ground, maybe it hits the enemy first, you will deal a slightly lower damage first, as shown in the screen right here, the first hit, and then followed by a AoE ground, which is the second hit, and the total follow up at the end of the the tables over here that I'm showing you. So allow me to explain one more time. Before hitting the ground, there's a lucky chance that the first hit you might be able to touch the enemy first, and sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes you can touch the enemy but AoE doesn't land, so it's a very weird thing. Hopefully they'll be able to fix this in the future. One tip that I wanted to leave is that make sure that you ride your friend's chocobo instead of your own chocobo, because you want to be focusing on your timing to plunge, not that you want to focus on riding a chocobo as well as plunge. It's very hard to execute. And oh yeah, if you're going to use jump attack, please don't dive right in front of a car. It didn't end so well. Alright, Dragoon also has a good mobility. They have the ability to glide and there's no cooldown to how much you want to do it, no mana consumption. They are also faster than a running candidate, so there's a chance you can sneak up on people with a jump attack. To glide, simply just jump, and when you see a flicker wing aura, tap jump again to trigger the glide. Now normal jump won't be able to, so you have to kind of jump off from a higher height. So when you try to glide, you'll see that little wing. And when you see that little wing at the back, it shows that you can actually glide. And sometimes I have this scenario when people chase me and I don't have anywhere to run. I actually do a wall run and then I'll be able to glide through them to be able to keep that distance, because actually gliding is faster than a running candidate. And when someone is shooting you, right? When someone is shooting you, don't just glide straight. Play around with your glide. Don't let them shoot you so predictable. Alright, one more thing I want to point out is that you actually have the ability to glide, so please land like this so that you can cancel the landing animation. Now we are going to cover the abilities followed by the skill. Now the ability is something that you'll be able to change, and they have the high jump and the Dragon's Favor. We're gonna talk about the high jump first. Grants you the ability to jump high. Now at every level, only the cooldown will be decreased, but the height will not be affected. Very useful in close areas such as sewer, as shown by our Ambassador Stormbreaker right here, that instead of going up, if there's a buildings like a ceilings, you'll instead hitting the ceilings and going sideways. So it's like sort of like a gamble. You might be able to land somewhere dangerous, might be able to land somewhere safe. But thank you so much, Ambassador Stormbreaker, for sharing us with us on Reddit and Facebook. So I actually played Dragon's Favor, and it's actually really good compared to high jump. A lot of people recommend high jump, but I don't really recommend it. First, Dragon's Favor has a cooldown of 75 seconds, but high jump has a 40 seconds cooldown at max level, so it's just like twice as much as high jump. But arrow actually has a faster cooldown compared to high jump, and actually lasts longer on the field in case you want to change direction. Now this is how I will play Dragon's Favor. So I would put the arrow first. I will put the arrow first. I will activate the Dragon's Favor. I will glide, and when I hit on someone, I didn't hit them. But if I hit them, I also have MP regain, and if I hit them, or even their chocobo right here on these videos, I'll regain a lot of MP and I'll be able to arrow out again. Not only that, it actually adds a bleeding effect to them that actually lasts 15 seconds. It equals to 30 HP, and just like Bio, it will not kill them, it will put them at 1 HP, but your rush warrior friend will be easily able to rush and rush slash again, you know what I mean? And before I forgot to mention, killing a candidate with Dragon's Favor will recover HP, and you have mana again, and you'll be able to push again. Very aggressive. Dragon's Favor can be played a very aggressive style, but it lacks in the rush slash like warrior department. So warrior and monk is still your weakness because they have high good hit rate. So I recommend carrying thunder just to counter them, because faster hit rate, they can cancel your melee attack. Alright, this time let's talk about Dragoon skill. We're up to this last one, and then I'll talk about my personal build. So every wall is very useless. Reduce gun damage taken from enemies at lower elevation than you when you are in mid-air. So why take damage when you can just dodge them, right? But it's still useful, but I'd rather take something else. So I would rather take White Swing. So White Swing actually increases the AoE. So playing Dragoon, right? If you want to play melee Dragoon, land safe, take Glowing Egg. Try to level up, because not only Glowing Egg will increase the more level you gain for White Swing, the longer the range it is for your melee. So make sure to pick that up, and leveling up also decrease the cooldown for Dragon's Favor. So play safe, and then don't push until your Dragon's Favor is level up. But we're over with Dragon's Favor, but I missed that out. So last one is Dragon's Ire, which actually places a marker on people, and if you damage those people despite using materia, guns, or melee weapon, for every each 42 HP, if I'm not mistaken, for every each 42 HP, you decrease 1 MP bar. So let's say you deal about 120 damage or 150 damage, or maybe the most you can deplete for them is actually just 3 MP, and you'll have to take hit first before you'll be able to use Dragon's Arrow. So you have to take damage from them first, and it'll place a marker on them. And at level 1, it lasts for 6 seconds, level 2, 7 seconds, level 3, 8 seconds. And then only for people that are 60 meters near to you. So in my opinion, Dragon's Ire is a risky gamble, but if you know how to utilize it, I don't know how to utilize it, so I'm just explaining to you how it works right here. Here's the table on how its level work as well. So better choice would be Dragon's Ire and White Swing. Alright, so these are my recommended build. I recommend carrying shotgun because for one simple reason. After you plunge, right, sometimes people get knocked back and they manage to run away. You want to prevent them from healing. Sometimes your Firaga doesn't hit, and shotgun is actually a better way to go. And jumping down, I actually recommend that carrying Glowing Egg. Now, if you want to play Dragoon's Favor and Melee Dragoon, White Swing as also Dragon's Favor, you want to level them up. White Swing will get more range, more AoE, and then Dragon's Favor will get more cooldown, allowing you to push more even aggressive more oftenly. But for material wise, Now that you don't have high jump, you definitely need arrow. Don't let your friends carry it as well, because after you plunge, maybe you regain some MP from Dragon's Fury, you want to bail out, and you can use arrow again. Now Blizzard can be replaced by Cure for instant heal. Very good against Thunder. Blizzard level 3, make sure it's a Blizzaga so that you can actually heal behind it. And the last thing is that Blind. You can also use Blind, where people won't be able to hit you, but if they use Thunder, you're also screwed. So all these trees are very different, alright? Blizzard doesn't make as good as Blind, but it also will be able to use as something to, you know, slow down your enemy, and you have Dragon's Fury to also push. And for the third one, I recommend using Firaga or Thunder, because Thunder to counter Monk or Warrior, again, they have a very good hit rate, they'll cancel your melee, so you want to fight them through this. And last but not least, Firaga after, you know, plunging, knocking them back. Depends on you. All these are swappable for situational. So hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. It has been dragged too long. Leave a like if you do, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more first soldier content. Leave it down in the comment section below what you think about Dragoon. And with that said, guys, I'm Master Pentagon. Hey, it's just gaming show.